On our website, you can get PDF learning materials for free. Please visit englist.me.
Writ.
A written legal order or command.
Examples:
A writ of summons. Issue a writ. He was served with a writ of eviction, giving him the notice to vacate the property.
Epoxy.
A type of adhesive or resin that is created by combining two components, a resin and a hardener, verb, to glue or bind together with a type of synthetic resin known as epoxy, often used in construction, manufacturing, and repair projects.
Examples:
Epoxy putty. Epoxy a surface. We use an epoxy coating to protect the concrete floor from damage.
Artisan.
A skilled craftsperson or worker who produces handmade or traditionally crafted items, often using specialized tools or techniques, someone who is skilled in a particular trade or craft.
Examples:
Artisan bakery. Talented artisan. She is known in the community as a skilled artisan in pottery.
Renaissance.
A new growth in activity or enthusiasm in anything, particularly art, literature, or music.
Examples:
Artistic renaissance. Industrial renaissance. Folk music is now experiencing a renaissance.
Starch.
A complex carbohydrate found in many plants, including rice, wheat, and potatoes, that is an important foodstuff for humans and animals.
Examples:
Starch granules. Potato starch. When heated, starch molecules absorb water and become thick and gooey, making it a useful thickening agent in cooking.
Bran.
The outermost layer of cereal grain, such as wheat or rice, which is removed during milling and is often used as animal feed or as a source of dietary fiber for humans, a type of coarse, fibrous substance that remains as a residue or byproduct in various industrial processes, such as oil extraction or paper making.
Examples:
Bran muffins. Bran cereal. Adding bran to your meals can help improve your digestion and increase fiber intake.
Germ.
A very tiny living that causes the disease, a piece of something such as an organism, concept, etc., capable of growing into a new one or part of one.
Examples:
Antibiotic-resistant germ. A germ-free environment. The germ of his idea came from watching birds flying in flocks.
Onus.
A burden, responsibility, or obligation, something that is required to be done or achieved.
Examples:
Legal onus. Financial onus. The onus of responsibility fell on the project manager to meet the deadline.
Leaven.
A substance, such as yeast or baking powder, that causes dough or batter to rise and become light and spongy during baking.
Examples:
Yeast leaven, leaven dough. The baker added some leaven to his bread dough to help it rise.
Hydrate.
To add water or moisture to something. To drink enough fluids to maintain proper moisture. Noun, any compound that contains water of crystallization.
Examples:
Hydrate my skin. Acid hydrate. She drank water to hydrate her body.
Soak.
To allow liquid to be absorbed, typically by immersing in it, to leave as a guarantee in return for money.
Examples:
Soak in a hot spring. Soak away stress. I soaked the shirt in the sink before washing it.
Palate.
The roof of the mouth, including the hard and soft tissues used in speech and the sense of taste, a person's ability to taste or appreciate different flavors and tastes.
Examples:
Palate cleanser. Refined palate. The restaurant's menu offered various dishes to satisfy everyone's palate.
Caramelization.
The process of heating sugar or other carbohydrates to create a caramelized, golden brown color and complex flavor, often used in cooking and baking.
Examples:
Caramelization process. Sugar's caramelization. The caramelization of onions adds a rich, savory flavor to the dish.
Ferment.
To experience a chemical change or action that results in the production of alcohol or effervescence of gases. Noun, a state of agitated activity or change, especially in the context of social or political movements.
Examples:
Ferment sugar into ethanol. Political ferment. The dough was left to ferment overnight to give the bread its distinctive flavor.
Sourdough.
A type of bread made from a fermented mixture of flour and water known as a starter that develops a sour taste and aroma due to the presence of naturally occurring bacteria and yeast.
Examples:
Crusty sourdough. Sourdough starter. I am making homemade sourdough bread from scratch for the first time.
Evoke.
To bring or recall a feeling, memory, or image into your mind.
Examples:
Evoke a sense of awe. Evoke sympathy. This movie is likely to evoke strong emotions in the viewer.
Revisit.
To go to a place again, especially after a long period.
Examples:
Revisit a place. Revisit an old friend. We need to revisit this proposal as soon as the budget is more apparent than before.
Mise.
A French term commonly used in culinary or theatrical contexts, referring to the arrangement or preparation of ingredients, props, or stage elements before a performance or production.
Examples:
Mise en abîme, mise en place. The director meticulously arranged the mise en scene for the play.
Gluten.
A protein found in wheat, barley, and rye that is responsible for the elastic texture of the dough.
Examples:
Gluten-free diets, gluten intolerance. Many people with celiac disease must avoid gluten in their diet.
Prefigure.
To foreshadow or serve as a sign or indication of something that will happen in the future, to anticipate or suggest beforehand.
Examples:
Prefigure an innovation, prefigure a disaster. The ancient cave paintings prefigure the future of art.
Gliadin.
A protein found in wheat and other grains, such as rye and barley, that is responsible for the elasticity and adhesive properties of dough, also involved in gluten-related disorders such as celiac disease.
Examples:
Gliadin protein, gliadin sensitivity. The gliadin content in certain grains can trigger adverse reactions in sensitive individuals.
Fermentation.
The chemical breakdown of a substance by bacteria, yeasts, or other microorganisms, typically involving effervescence and the giving off of the heat.
Examples:
Oxidative fermentation, fermentation tank. The process of fermentation is used to make beer, wine, and many other products.
Burp.
To expel air from the stomach through the mouth in a noisy manner, often after eating or drinking too quickly, to emit a sudden and brief sound or movement, such as a mechanical device or engine. Noun, a sound or the release of air from the stomach through the mouth, often accompanied by a characteristic sound.
Examples:
Burp the baby, accidental burp. He couldn't help but burp loudly after drinking the fizzy soda.
Torpedo.
A weapon that is designed to be launched from a ship, submarine, or aircraft and that is propelled through the water by a motor.
Examples:
Torpedo attack, airdropped torpedo. The submarine launched a torpedo at the enemy ship.
Loaf.
A quantity of bread that is shaped and baked in one piece and usually sliced for serving. Verb, to be lazy or idle.
Examples:
Crusty loaf, loaf around during the day. On my way home from work, I picked up a loaf of bread from the bakery.
Caramel.
A sweet, dark brown, sticky substance made by heating sugar or syrup until it melts and then cooling it quickly.
Examples:
Caramel candy, caramel topping. The caramel sauce on the ice cream was the perfect finishing touch.
Coagulate.
To become thickened or solidified, usually as a result of a chemical reaction or change in temperature. To cause a liquid to become thick or solid.
Examples:
Coagulate bleeding blood vessels. Coagulate milk. When the blood coagulates, it forms a clot to stop bleeding.
Crumb.
A small particle or fragment of food or other substance, often one that has broken off from a larger piece, a very small amount or portion of something.
Examples:
Crumb of information. Breadcrumb. My dog found a crumb on the floor and quickly ate it.
Gelatinous.
Having the texture of jelly, having a translucent, jelly-like consistency.
Examples:
Gelatinous texture. Gelatinous substance. The jellyfish's body was transparent and gelatinous, making it difficult to see in the water.
Swell.
To become larger or more inflated, to become more intense or important.
Examples:
Swell at room temperature. Swell a population. His arm was swelling from the insect bite.
Gutsy.
Displaying courage, determination, or boldness, characterized by a willingness to take risks or face challenges.
Examples:
Gutsy move. Gutsy performance. It was gutsy to quit her job and start her own business.
Scholastic.
Relating to education or learning, particularly in an academic setting, marked by rigorous or formal adherence to academic rules and conventions, like that of a scholar or student.
Examples:
Scholastic education. Scholastic competition. She received a Scholastic Award for her outstanding academic achievements.
Poetic.
Of or relating to poetry, equals a piece of writing that emphasizes the expression of feelings and ideas, using language in an imaginative and expressive way.
Examples:
Poetic genius. Poetic justice. The sunset was so beautiful, it looked like a poetic scene from a movie.
Mystical.
Relating to or characterized by spiritual powers, beyond ordinary understanding.
Examples:
Mystical intuition. Mystical belief. While meditating, he had a mystical experience and felt a sense of unity with the universe.
Anagogic.
Pertaining to or having the ability to provide spiritual or mystical uplift or elevation, relating to the concept of spiritual enlightenment or transcendence.
Examples:
Anagogic experience. Anagogic interpretation. The anagogic nature of the artwork allowed viewers to experience a sense of spiritual enlightenment.
Euphemism.
A mild or indirect word or expression used in place of one considered to be too harsh or blunt when referring to something unpleasant or embarrassing.
Examples:
Genteel euphemism. A euphemism for death. The company used the euphemism downsizing to describe the layoffs of hundreds of employees.
Indignity.
An affront to one's dignity or self-respect, an insult or humiliating treatment.
Examples:
Indignity of poverty. Suffer an indignity. Being demoted at work was a great indignity to him.
Infuse.
To fill something with a particular quality, feeling, or influence, to imbue.
Examples:
Infuse with spirit. Infuse life with meaning. She infused fresh herbs into the soup for added flavor.
Enliven.
To make something more interesting, active, or appealing, to give life or energy to something, often by adding new or creative elements.
Examples:
Enliven a party. Enliven a conversation. The party music helped enliven the atmosphere and get people dancing.
Vivify.
To bring to life, to make something more lively, vibrant, or animated.
Examples:
Vivify the atmosphere. Vivify the conversation. The energetic music began to vivify the crowd, getting them dancing and cheering.
Determinant.
A factor, circumstance, or condition that contributes to the shaping, influencing, or determining of a particular outcome or result.
Examples:
Environmental determinant. A determinant of crop yields. One determinant of success is having a positive attitude and a strong work ethic.
Pass.
No longer fashionable or current, outdated, considered to be old-fashioned or out of date.
Examples:
Passé entertainment. Passé trend. Bell-bottom jeans, once considered passé fashion, have made a surprising comeback in recent years.
Symbolism.
The use of symbols to represent ideas or qualities, especially in art and literature, an artistic movement in the late 19th century that tried to express abstract or mystical ideas through the symbolic use of images.
Examples:
The symbolism of the event. Political symbolism. The symbolism in the painting was rich and complex, with many layers of meaning.
Caterpillar.
The worm-like larva of a butterfly or moth.
Examples:
Caterpillar of a butterfly. Caterpillar in a cocoon. The woolly bear caterpillar munched on leaves all day.
Psyche.
The human soul, mind, or spirit.
Examples:
Deep psyche. Psyche healing. The therapist helped her understand the workings of her psyche and how to cope with her anxiety.
Partake.
To participate or share in something, to consume or enjoy food or drink.
Examples:
Partake in a celebration. Partake in an activity. Let's all partake in the potluck and share our favorite dishes.
Ingest.
To take food or drink into the body, often through the mouth, to absorb or assimilate something, often used to describe the intake of information or knowledge.
Examples:
Ingest food. Ingest medication. People who compulsively ingest non-food items, such as dirt or chalk, suffer from a condition called pica.
Nurture.
To take care of, feed, and protect someone or something while they are growing and developing.
Examples:
Nurture love. Nurture his talents. Schools should nurture children's mutual interest spirit.
Opportune.
Suitable or happening at a time that is suitable or convenient for a particular purpose.
Examples:
Opportune occasion. An opportune remark. The phone rang at the most opportune time.
Ponder.
To think deeply or carefully about something.
Examples:
Ponder divine matters. Ponder life's meaning. She sat quietly, pondering the difficult decision.
Barley.
A type of cereal grain that is used for food, either in the form of whole grains, flour, or malt.
Examples:
Barley field. Barley crop. The fields were ripe with barley, ready for harvest.
Sprout.
To grow or develop new parts, typically leaves or shoots, from a plant, to emerge, develop, or arise gradually or suddenly. Noun, a young shoot or plant that emerges from a seed and starts to grow.
Examples:
Sprout seeds. Sprout wings. The flowers in the garden began to sprout after the first rain of the season.
Malt.
Grains, typically barley that has been soaked, germinated, and dried in a specific process, used as a key ingredient in the production of beer, whiskey, and malt vinegar, and used as a sweet or flavored ingredient in foods.
Examples:
Malt whiskey. Malt vinegar. The malt extract is a key ingredient in this homemade bread recipe, giving it a unique flavor.
Roast.
To cook food by surrounding it with hot, dry air, especially in an oven.
Examples:
Roast coffee beans. Roast beef. The chef roasted the chicken to perfection in the oven.